with Alert Day coverage now. This is Wave News.
Good Friday morning to you. Waking up to all that snow out there. The roads becoming an issue in parts of our area after that winter weather hit our area. Here's a live look at some of the roads. We know some neighborhoods, side streets, they're dealing with some pretty rough conditions out there. But the good news, a lot of the interstates are good.
Yeah. One person, a viewer, told me that Henry and Shelby County was horrific. JCPS on NTI today. So many other schools also doing the same or closing altogether. So you can find that full list at wave3.com. Let's get to team coverage this morning. Crews have been plowing and dumping salt and brine overnight, and Marissa Burke will get us an update on the roads from the storm tracker.
And Rob Wells is taking a look at the bigger picture when it comes to traffic and some of the problem areas. But first, let's send things over to meteorologist Tawana Andrew, who has the latest on this system.
And it's gradually moving out right now. So we are seeing less and less of that snow across the area this morning. So for those of you in the southern portions of Washington County, going to be keeping an eye on that snow. Also into parts of Clark County and Floyd County, still watching that moderate snowfall in your area, watching more of the moderate snow falling from parts of downtown Louisville to Fern Creek and north into Oldham County, southern Henry County. You are really dealing with some of that heavier snowfall as of right now. Same thing into Shelby and Franklin County. So by the way, if you know anybody traveling along 64 in those areas, give them that heads up. Also seeing some more of that snow for those of you in Spencer County. Thankfully, you are a lot drier further to the south of the parkway. So as we head throughout the rest of the morning, going to be watching that snow moving out. Temperatures returning to the mid to upper 30s this afternoon. That should help with the melting process that we see across the area. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that as the morning goes along as well. And we'll watch for a little bit more of that snow coming down. This is a view for one of our viewers, Sue in Valley Station. Beautiful morning. It's pretty like this, not so much when you actually have to drive in it.
Thank you, Tawana. Right now, we're going to take a closer look at those road conditions this morning. Here's a live look at Spaghetti Junction right now. So this is just one of the areas that we're watching, but things seem to be moving pretty well right now.
The storm tracker is out there right now, and Wave News reporter Marissa Burke is giving us a live look. And how are things where you are, Marissa?
So we're on Blankenbaker Parkway right now, and we caught some action, guys. Let's check them out. We got the crews next to us doing their thing, making sure that everything is getting clear. I want y'all to see what we see. You see them back there clearing off the roads. But again, if you're heading out, just beware that some roads are better than others. And just because a road starts off well doesn't mean that it's going to end well. We have had that happen on Shelbyville Road. As soon as you get off the interstate, it's kind of clear and you can see it's been treated. But then the further you drive down Shelbyville Road, you start to see some of that snow accumulation. And then the side roads, the biggest thing is those side roads. Just make sure that you're giving yourself extra time if you know that you're on one of those side roads and it's probably not going to be treated right away. So just give yourself some extra time this morning. But you see how things are looking over on Blankenbaker. Over on the bridge in New Albany, things were looking good. So, Rob, I know you're keeping an eye on things across the metro. How are things over there?
Hi, Marissa. Not too bad. I'm staying cautiously optimistic at 7:04 on your finally Friday morning. Hopefully you have one of these, the scraper in the car and the brush. You're going to need that this morning, maybe this afternoon when you leave the office or your appointments. Keeping an eye right now on a one-car crash just off to the side there of the camera at 64 West. This is approaching I-65. No reports of injuries, but you're going to want to slow down. You see a lot of the curves there and the embankments. That's going to be slick spots. A disabled vehicle still slowing things down. You see kind of the curves with the wet pavements there at 264 East at Bank Street. The big picture not looking too bad. The yellow spots there showing you some of the areas where you may be pumping the brakes this morning, and certainly give yourself a lot of extra time and room between you and the other vehicles out there. But again, zero big crash report, which is a good thing right now at this hour. The big metro cameras looking good and clear. We'll keep an eye on it throughout the morning. Over to you.
Thank you, Rob. And the Metro Snow Team has been working overnight. They're still out there, as we saw, that Marissa showed us, to try and clear a path on the snow routes across Louisville. Here's a map of all 2,700 miles that'll be treated and plowed. City leaders say they're going to try to keep this updated. Roads in yellow means it's been salted. All the purple means crews have salted and plowed the roads. And then the red means they are currently working to clear those roads.
But before you hit the road this morning, you'll need to take care of your car. The most important thing is clearing off your car, removing that snow from your windows and scraping off any snow from the roof. Any snow left on top could fly off and cause problems for the drivers behind you. You'll also want to clear snow from your headlights because visibility will be key this morning. AAA also suggests checking your tires and tire pressure, giving yourself traction and plenty of space to stop. Meanwhile, Indiana snow removal teams are also out in full force this morning. This is a picture from an INDOT plow. Crews are working and asking you to give those plows plenty of space. They say drivers should not cut in front of plows or follow too closely.
Health leaders also want to remind you, be careful if you need to do some shoveling this morning. The National Institute of Health says snow shoveling results in more than 11,000 injuries each year, and many of those are related to overexertion and incorrect form. Doctors say it's important to lift with your legs, not your arms and back, and they also suggest that you take breaks to make sure that you don't get overworked. And you can get 24/7 weather and traffic updates by downloading the Wave Weather app. It's really designed to help you on mornings, especially like this. You can find it for free to download in the App Store.
The United States Postal Service says recent weather is leading to delays of deliveries for mail and packages. The Postal Service says the weather, combined with the higher than normal mail and package volumes, have contributed to delays in the unloading trailers at the Louisville Processing and Distribution Center. In a statement, USPS says it's increased staffing and rerouted some mail to alternate processing locations. Earlier this year, 3 Louisville Postal Service branches were audited for delayed mail issues. The Postal Service says it continues to closely monitor conditions and will make any more necessary adjustments. A reminder of USPS's shipping holiday deadlines. They're next week. These are the recommended dates you'll want to send your gifts to make sure they get to their destinations by Christmas. December 17th is the last day for those using Ground Advantage and first class shipping. December 18th is the deadline for Priority Mail, and December 20th is the cutoff for Priority Mail Express.
Indiana's governor is promising to not support state senators who voted to reject a plan to redraw the state's congressional districts. For months, President Trump has pressured Indiana lawmakers to redraw the state's districts before the 2026 midterm elections. And 21 senators from the Republican Party joined 10 Democrats voting against the map. The Indiana House passed the bill last week, though 12 House Republicans also broke with their party and voted with Democrats to oppose it. Had the redrawing gone through, Democrats would have likely lost the 2 House seats they held in Congress. Governor Mike Braun put out a statement saying he's very disappointed and adds that he wants to work with the president to, quote, challenge these people who do not represent the best interests of Hoosiers. In a statement, Indiana's Democratic Party said that the bill would have pulled decision-making even further from the people who live with the consequences. Hoosiers rejected that loudly, consistently, in every way they knew how. And still to come, those temperatures are really going to plummet this weekend, and that could cause some problems in your home.
We'll tell you the steps you can take to prevent water damage or flooding this winter.
Here's another live look at the storm tracker. Looks like they're out on an interstate right now and moving pretty well. A little bit of snow still coming down, but the interstates look pretty good.
Yeah, it's the interstates that are good, but the side roads could give you some issues this morning. And Tawana, as we see that snow still coming down, how long are we going to be dealing with that?
For about another hour, and then we're going to be wrapping things up even more across the area. So the storm tracker right now getting off of 64. This is that overpass to go on to 264, so the Waterston Expressway, right as you're getting closer to Dutchman's Lane. So this is where that area is, and hey, that looks fantastic, much better than when I was trying to get into work this morning. But you can still see, of course, the shoulders are covered in snow, so be extra careful as you're heading out this morning. Also keeping an eye on Spaghetti Junction, looking great there, but it's not the main roads that we're having issues with this morning. It's a lot of those side streets, it's a lot of the neighborhoods that we're running into those problems. So what we're dealing with right now, a little bit more of that snow still coming down from Borden into portions of the very northern fringes of Floyd County and southern Clark County. In Louisville, that snow already starting to wrap up. So for those of you from the Highlands to Fern Creek to Middletown, you're mainly talking about moderate snow. Heavier, though, in Oldham County. That's where some of the heaviest snow is right now. It does stretch into the southern parts of Henry County and into parts of Shelby County. Also seeing some of that showing up in parts of Spencer County and Franklin County. So a lot of us still dealing with the snowfall, all because of this pesky area of low pressure that's off towards our southwest. But now we're keeping an eye on an area of low pressure and this warm front that's going to be drifting into our region as we head through this morning. Your temperatures right now in the 20s and the low 30s. As we head over the next 12 hours, what we're going to be looking at, improving conditions. So the snow moving out this morning, still going to be dealing with some issues on the roads, though. We get into the afternoon, going to be keeping some of these clouds overhead. Highs today in the mid to upper 30s. So we do look to climb above the freezing mark, which should help road crews clean a lot more of those neighborhood streets, those side streets. But we have to keep an eye on any refreezing that can happen tonight into early tomorrow morning as temperatures fall down into the 20s. Now for tomorrow, another alert day for Saturday into Sunday as we monitor our next area of low pressure. This will bring some more of that snow for those of you along in north of I-64, mainly talking about scattered snow showers for the afternoon hours. And then everybody else gets in on snow chances after about 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow evening with that last bit of snow sweeping through. Eventually, though, we're just going to see those clouds trying to clear into Sunday. So the main snow chance for Saturday will be overnight into Sunday. For those of you further to the north, you'll have the snow a little bit longer. You have a better chance to see 1 to 3 inches of snow in most spots. And then further to the south, less than an inch of snow. On Sunday, it's about the frigid air, the Arctic air taking over. This is when we'll only see highs in the upper single digits up and the low teens across most of the region. Wind chills below 0 for most of the day, so that's important to note as well. And then once we get into Monday morning, some of you will see actual temperatures below 0, but thankfully it doesn't last very long. We'll get back into the 40s and 50s for highs by the middle and end of next week. Olivia?
Burr. Thanks, Tawana. And with such low temperatures expected this weekend, watch out for frozen pipes. There are some steps you can take now to prevent that, though. One of the most important tips is to close off your crawl space openings. When it starts to get into the teens, leaving your cabinets open to allow heat to get to the pipes will help, and leaving your faucets on a little trickle will also allow for the movement of water through those pipes.
The Norton Heart and Vascular Institute made history this week. Surgeons at the hospital performed a first-of-its-kind heart valve replacement procedure in the Commonwealth. Health officials say it offers new hope for patients with heart valve conditions. Unlike traditional open heart surgery, this new approach uses a catheter, so a small tube guides a replacement valve through a small incision in the groin. And doctors say this technique can significantly reduce recovery time.
New ownership is coming to the Blue Oval SK battery plant. South Korean battery maker SK On and Ford plan to dissolve their partnership. This means Ford will take full ownership of the Kentucky battery plants in Hardin County. SK On will be taking over its Tennessee plant and will begin reevaluating what it's producing there. Governor Andy Beshear addressed the recent split, calling it good news for Kentucky, and he says he's still optimistic. Beshear also taking time to launch new criticism on Washington and blaming immigration policies from the Trump administration.
I remain optimistic about the future of these facilities, but there is no question that actions taken out of Washington, D.C. by this current administration and Congress has made it much more complicated and may make it take longer to achieve the desired results that we have in those two factories.
Governor Beshear expects to learn more details on the partnership split sometime next week.
As people prepare to gather for the upcoming holidays, U of L doctors are urging people to get their flu shots to stay healthy and avoid spreading the virus. The Louisville Metro Department of Public Health and Wellness says there have been more than 700 flu cases reported since September. U of L health doctors say anyone can get the flu, but some groups are more vulnerable than others, and that includes children under 5, adults over 65, pregnant women, and those with chronic health conditions, and those with a weakened immune system.
The holiday season is the prime time for flu. People are gathering and traveling more. Families are getting together to celebrate the holidays, and the flu loves that type of environment. That's how the flu thrives. The flu shot is so important. It definitely significantly reduces the risk of getting the flu. But if you do get the flu, it also reduces your risk of complications and symptom severity. So it's important to get your flu shot.
And they also want to remind people, wash your hands often and clean commonly touched surfaces. New this morning, a 16-year-old is in the hospital after an overnight shooting. LMPD says it happened on South 28th near Duminal Street last night. Police said the teen was shot in his abdomen and hand, and investigators said the teen is expected to survive. Police did not release any details about a possible suspect. Today, former University of Michigan coach Sharon Moore is expected to appear in court. Moore also has some connections to U of L. At the hearing, Moore is expected to learn his official charges and enter a plea. He was put in jail hours after being fired Wednesday. The University of Michigan says he had an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Police have not released any details about his arrest. 911 dispatch audio from the area that Moore was arrested in details reports of a woman claiming a man was attacking her in an apartment. Moore earned his master's degree at U of L and was a graduate assistant and tight ends coach for the Cards from 2009 to 2013.
Today, Kentucky Attorney General Russell Coleman is expected to announce new ways the state is cracking down on organized retail crime. Attorney General Coleman says last year, Kentucky saw a 30% increase in organized retail crime. Coleman says he plans to ask state lawmakers for additional funding to create a statewide response to it. Coleman says shops in Kentucky lost $990 million in revenue to theft in 2022. We expect to learn more in an update at 12:30 this afternoon.
It's now 7:18 and still ahead. Hardin County is now making it easier for parents to make sure their kids get to and from school.
We'll tell you about the app they designed to track buses.
Hall of Fame jockey Pat Day was honored at the Kentucky Derby Museum Thursday. We know that sound, right? It was a full Derby Festival rollout for the museum's yearly Derby in December event, and jockey Pat Day was honored with the Derby Museum's Lifetime Achievement Award. The museum also unveiled a new exhibit which showcases all of his accomplishments in the sport. It ranges from high school photos to the silks he wore during his final race and his 1992 Kentucky Derby win. He talked about the feeling of winning the Run for the Roses in that acceptance speech.
Can I tell you that's the absolute highlight of my racing career? And as I shared earlier, somebody said, can you describe that or explain that? Or I said, no, I've given a lot of thought to that. The only words that I can come up with is indescribable.
Day is the second person to be awarded with the museum's Lifetime Achievement Award. Hall of Fame trainer Dwayne Lucas received the honor before Derby 150. Hundreds of U of L students today will walk across the stage for the fall commencement ceremony. It's hosted at the KFC Yum Center at 7 p.m. More than 2,500 students will get their degrees this semester. More than 1,000 are walking the stage, and the president, Jerry Bradley, will preside over the event. You can also watch that ceremony. They'll be broadcasting it live on the university's website. Hardin County families can now track their children's school bus in real time. Hardin County Schools launched an app called Stop Finder that will allow parents to access school bus information. That app is free and allows people to customize information and get alerts about their child's bus location. Hardin County elementary school student parents have been using it since the beginning of the school year, but now it's available for middle and high school students and parents as well. You can download that app now. Some familiar faces are returning for the Hunger Games prequel. Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson are reportedly planning to reprise their roles in the upcoming film called Sunrise on the Reaping. Lawrence played Katniss Everdeen, and Hutcherson played Peeta Mellark in the original movies. The new film is based on Suzanne Collins' novel, which is set 24 years before those characters made their first appearance. The book features them in flash-forward sequences. Sunrise on the Reaping should be in theaters next November. Time magazine has named its Person of the Year, and it's the architects of AI. Time officials say 2025 is when artificial intelligence became a part of everyday life, affecting everything from the economy to schooling. This edition of the magazine will have two covers. One has the letters under construction, and the second features tech titans, including Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. Time magazine's annual tradition of naming a Person of the Year started in 1927. We'll be right back.
This Wave News Update is sponsored by Oxmoor Auto Group.
And good morning to you at 7:26 on your finally Friday morning. I hope it's starting off to a great start. You do have some things to deal with out there on the roadways. Let's take a live look. This is 264 East at Bank Street. You see kind of the wet pavements out there, and that's what you're going to be dealing with, and potential for refreezing, especially over bridges and overpasses. But the good thing, no serious accidents and no major tie-ups as of right now. We're still keeping an eye on the bigger picture, though, not seeing any serious issues at this point. We are keeping our eyes on 64 westbound at 265 south after a one-car crash about 25 minutes ago. Otherwise, not looking too bad for now. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Rob. This continues to be an alert day, not because of the snow falling, but the impacts. The storm tracker in some of our neighborhood roads. This one looks great. Some of them, not so much. So that is something that you want to make sure you're keeping in mind. Looking at Spaghetti Junction, the roadway is just fine, and we're seeing less of that snow impacting visibility as well. But we are still dealing with that snowfall anywhere from portions of Floyd and Clark County all the way into the northern fringes of the metro. So towards Prospect is where that snow is coming down a little bit more. Same thing for those of you in the Goshen Skylight area towards Crestwood and LaGrange. And then anywhere from Eminence to Frankfort to Taylorsville, getting in on additional rounds of that light to moderate snow as of right now. Your temperatures are in the 20s and the low 30s to start off the day. We do look to dry out through the morning hours, keeping some clouds around for later on this afternoon, with highs today trying to get into the mid to upper 30s. That will help with the melting. But with temperatures dropping down into the 20s tonight, we could see anything that melted really refreeze, and that could lead to some issues. We get into the second half of your Saturday and then Sunday, another alert day because of some snow moving our way and also some very frigid Arctic air taking over the region.
No, I did not hear you.
Copy 90 out. Just as a double check, why don't you cue her as well? Cue Marissa to the schedule. Good deal. Thanks. You still have my shot? Good deal. Thank you. Mic check.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good morning. Thanks so much for sticking with us here for Sunrise Extra. I'm Olivia Russell. Normally, we would use this time to go over some of our top headlines, but I know right now the top headline is going to be that snow that everyone is waking up to. People wondering what we're going to see out there when it comes to even more snowfall. No. I am not a meteorologist, so I will let Tawana handle all of that. But we will check in with Marissa. She's out there on the storm tracker. She's been out there all morning. So let's send things over to her. Marissa, what are you seeing out there on the roads right now? Because I know everyone wants to know what's going on. They might have to go to work this morning or, run some extra errands that they weren't able to knock out yesterday. What are you seeing?
thing across the metro. Some roads are better than others, and we're on Camp Street over in Old Louisville, and things look pretty good out here. You see it's been treated. Several cars have gone through, making it a little easier if you are or if you live in this area and you need to head out. But some areas to be cautious of: driving over the 2nd Street Bridge in downtown Louisville. We've seen some crews out this morning making sure that things are nice and cleared off. But as that snowfall just kind of happens on and off, things have changed in certain areas. We also were over in Bardstown Road in the Highlands. It was plowed and had a nice dusting on it when we were out there. But again, those side roads are the ones you want to be weary of. Over in New Albany, they were actively treating. We saw the guys, shout out to them, cleaning off the sidewalks over by the courthouse. On the Snyder, things look pretty smooth. But like we said, going into neighborhoods and the side roads, that's where your problem areas. When we were on Shelbyville Road, it seemed like half the road was treated, but the further you drove down the road, that's where you started to see the accumulations happening. And then some of the side roads like Brindley Avenue were just covered. So just know, look at the map and try to figure out what you may be driving up to if you do need to head out. But if you don't have to get out and about, this is a great time to just stay at home with a nice cup of hot chocolate and a good book, right, Olivia?
Yeah, that's a good bit of information there. And Marissa, it looks like there were quite a few cars, of course, overnight that have been parked on those side roads too. Pretty, what I want to say, 4 inches of snow, thick layer there, pretty piled up. Have you seen people out there trying to wipe off their cars and get out and venture out this morning? Are you seeing any of that?
We actually ran into one guy who has a sidewalk clearing business, and he said he had been up since midnight. So I want you to see some of the cars that we have been driving by. Like you were saying, there's a nice covering on some of these cars. So it's going to be a little bit of a labor of love to get where they need to go. But if you don't have to go anywhere and you want to stay in, this is a great time to do so, because your hands are going to get cold if you need to clear off all of the snow. Oh, look at this one real quick, Olivia. Look at that one.
Oh, there they go.
Oh.
There they go. Oh.
There they go.
Yeah, they're trying to get out there. They're trying.
They're trying to.
And another thing, Marissa, that we usually see right now, we see a lot of people, especially near businesses, they're trying to shovel those sidewalks. Have you come across people who are shoveling sidewalks, trying to make things clear for people who do venture out?
Yes, we saw that in New Albany. They were over by the courthouse. I believe it was Donnie and Adam out there clearing things off. They said they got out there around 4 a.m. around those parts. So shout out to them and all the other crews that had to wake up extra early to make sure sidewalks and roads were safe for people.
I mean, it's so scenic right there too, just so pretty. Of course, we don't want to make light of this. We want to make sure everyone is safe out there. But thank you so much for being the one to brave these roads this morning. And tell people about this too, because people see the storm tracker. They just see the camera shots. They see you sitting in there. Describe the storm tracker, because it is a beast of a vehicle too. I mean, it is built to handle storms specifically too.
I always say she's a big girl. That's how I put it. And she can take it, okay? She can take these turns. She's weighted, so we don't slide as much, but again, it's still a car, so just be wary. When you see the storm tracker, just know we are trying to keep you safe. And I always say that my lovely photographer is a professional storm track driver, because he knows this car like the back of his hand. So guys, if you do need to head out, just make sure that your car can handle driving on some of the slick spots you may see across the metro.
Yeah, big shout out to Michael Flynn there, holding down the fort. He is fantastic in the storm tracker too. Marissa, is there anything else that you want to add that people should know if they have to head out this morning?
Just be safe. Give yourself time to clear off your car. Make sure you're letting it warm up, because I can only imagine with all the snow that might be accumulating on some of these cars, how cold it will actually be inside. But just be safe. That's all. Just be safe.
Sweet advice there. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Marissa. Thanks for giving us that look outside all morning. And like I said, being the brave one to be out there on the roads this morning. So hopefully everyone else can stay inside and stay out of it if they can. So stay safe, warm up. We'll see you back here at the station soon. Thanks, Marissa. We're going to take a quick break, though. We're going to be right back with a look at some of the maps to show you what roads have been treated, plus show you some incident reports that we're getting in right now. So we'll check in just about 2 minutes. Well, thanks for staying with us here for Sunrise Extra. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our maps because right now everyone's wondering, can I even leave the house? What do the roads look like right now? Because so many people do have to get out and leave. And I want to show you what we look at with TriMark. This is how we get incident reports too. And I'm kind of watching them pile up. You see those notifications there on the side in the pink and the yellow. So taking a look at this map, usually if it's a slower area, yellow would indicate a slowdown. We're seeing a bit of yellow, but mostly green right now. That's good news. But if you do see some yellow out there, that probably just an area where people are driving a little bit slower, doesn't necessarily indicate a massive backup or slowdown. But we are seeing some incidents out there, and you can follow along. Like I said, you can pull this up yourself at home on TriMark. And right now, kind of the latest one we're seeing is this crash on I-65 northbound. This is just past the outer loop. It looks like they have the right lane and right shoulder blocked. If we go ahead and zoom in, I can pull up a camera there where you can see it right there. This is right by that collector. So in the middle of your screen, it looks like they're blocking that right lane and right shoulder again. So keep an eye out for that. It doesn't look like it's impacting traffic too much, and we can't see what may have caused this crash. Certainly keeping a close eye on those road conditions out there. Another incident that we're keeping an eye on, 64 westbound, that ramp to the Snyder. See if we can get a camera shot there. There are a couple cameras in that area. Looks like this one. Oh, yep. There it is. It looks like people are even out of their cars too. So if you are in that area too, just keep an eye out for this too, because you definitely want to make sure everyone who is involved in a crash is safe. We don't want to make sure everyone is taken care of. And it looks like they just have a hoodie and sweatpants on too. So if you do have to head out, just in case, of course, you're going to assume that you're not going to get in a crash, but worst case scenario, if you get stranded or stuck somewhere, make sure you're bundled up. You have some extra coats in the car or an extra blanket in case of an emergency like that. So everything else around the metro looking pretty good. It looks like we have another crash. This one is on this ramp from the Watterson to I-64. See if we have a camera shot of that. Nope. Camera not available right now, but certainly causing some minor delays in that area. But again, for the most part, our map is looking pretty good right there. And then if we look at our Louisville Metro snow map, it looks like some of the things in there have already been taken care of. So a lot of roads downtown, especially near the hospitals, have been treated. Those spots in red those are the areas that have not been treated yet, mostly on the outskirts. And yellow means good. They've been plowed, they've been salted, all of that. Purple, I believe that means it's just been salted. I could be wrong on that. Pretty sure that's what it means right there. But everything looking pretty good. I mean, our Metro Snow crews have done a great job getting out there and treating those roads, doing a lot of work overnight. But we also like to see what it looks like where you are. So I want to cut over to a picture we got from Amy this morning. Look at that snow right there. And then we have another one from Amy. This one looks like it's in Orleans, Indiana. So yeah, that snow piling up on that bench. Let's send things over to Dan. And this is in Bullitt County where you can see, yeah, that's probably about 3 inches of snow right there piling up on that guardrail. Another picture here. Ooh, this one is beautiful. I love those lights outside too. A nice look at that background or that backyard from David Haas. Here's another one from David. Oh, looks like it flipped on its side. But yeah, some beautiful lights out there too, making a winter wonderland. This is from Elizabeth Russell in Clarksville. Yeah, those power lines getting some snow built up on them. The good news, no ice in this system. So that's the good thing. So hopefully those power lines will be just fine, able to withstand something like this. This is from Hannah. This is in Medora, Indiana. Yeah, those cars that you see right there, you're going to have to wipe those down this morning. So make sure you're not just wiping off the windshield, you're also wiping off the tops of your car. If you're someone like me who's 5'2", it might be a little bit tough to reach on top of there, but try to knock off as much as you can, because if you're driving and a sheet of snow just flies off and it hits the windshield of the driver behind you, that could cause some issue. And you don't want to be that person who creates issues for other drivers out there. This is from Jessica in Lebanon Junction. It looks like they have her ruler out there. It's just shy of 3 inches, and I'm not even sure when this picture was taken, so they could have even accumulated more snow since then. And I know it's always fun to stick your ruler in the snow and see exactly how much you got in your area. Let's check in with Rebecca from Crestwood. She also has her ruler in there. Let's see. Looks like I can't even see. That's a small look, and it might even be, I don't know. Maybe it's centimeters. I can't really tell. Or maybe it's inches. Yeah, about 3 to 4 inches there. I can't see it well enough on my end of things. And then this is from Tammy Harris in Paoli. Oh, those Christmas decorations, making it really nice out there. And again, it's a pretty beautiful snow. As long as the roads are clear, that's the good thing that we're really worried about. So hopefully you're able to just stay inside and, hey, kickstart your weekend a little bit early too. How about that? That's all the time we have here for Sunrise Extra. Keep sending in those pictures too. And of course, our storm tracking team is on top of all of this. So make sure you have that Wave Weather app downloaded. They're doing a great job of keeping that updated. We were going to have Tawana in here, but she is just so busy updating that and putting in all the numbers, all the updated information, that she couldn't join us. So again, they are working very hard this morning, making sure they're giving you all of the updates that we have here. And that'll also show you traffic too for people who do have to head out. Some people do have to come to work this morning. The kids, hopefully they're enjoying their snow day or NTI day for JCPS students. And hey, stay inside. Bundle up, throw on some cozy sweatpants and drink some hot chocolate or coffee and maybe read a nice book. Just find a way to enjoy it, because not everyone loves the snow, but hey, we're dealing with it. Find a way to enjoy the day. And again, hopefully it's a long weekend for you too, as this is coming in on a Friday, but we'll also be prepared for more snow chances over the weekend. Again, I'm going to let our storm tracking team handle all of that. Thanks so much for joining us. Hopefully you're able to be safe out there and stay warm. Have a great weekend.